Decision on the 26/11 attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed's house arrest is likely to come today. The Lahore High Court has summoned Pakistan's Interior Secretary and has said that Saeed's house arrest will be set aside if the government cannot submit any more evidence against Hafiz Saeed. Now, in the last hearing, the court had pulled up the Pakistani government and had said that no citizen can be detained for an indefinite period of time merely on the basis of press clippings. Now, Saeed has been under house arrest since January this year, and in all this time, the government has failed to file any charges against him. Now, Saeed is wanted in India for the 2008 Mumbai attacks, in which 160 people were killed. Now, Pakistan so far has not put him on trial despite international pressure against it.
I'm not sure how the Punjab government has any role in this. This is ultimately the job of the Interior Ministry to provide the evidence that Hafiz Saeed represents enough of a threat from a law and order perspective for the government to continue to hold him in detention.
So this is the case which is to be heard in Pakistan in a few minutes' time from now. One of the most important cases in Pakistan. Remember, Hafiz Saeed has been under house arrest since January 2017 onwards under Pakistan's Anti-Terror Act 2007. Now, Pakistan government so far has not been able to press any charges against him, or rather has refused to press any charges against him. And now the court has pulled up the Pakistan government, stating that an individual cannot be detained indefinitely unless charges are pressed against him and evidence is presented in a court of law. So is this essentially doublespeak on the part of Pakistan? Why is it that Pakistan, despite the evidence that has been given to it by India, has not pressed charges against Hafiz Saeed? And to discuss more on this, we are joined by Lieutenant General B.S. Jaiswal from Chandigarh. General Jaiswal, let me begin by asking, it's an important day if you were to look at how the proceedings against Hafiz Saeed have been carried out by the Pakistan government. The court is essentially asking, why is it that adequate enough evidence is not being given against Hafiz Saeed? Can we expect that Hafiz Saeed will walk out as a free man today?
Well, there is a paradigm shift as far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, and the attitude of the Pakistan government. They have themselves said that these people have become a liability, and they'll require some time to resolve this issue. Now, as far as the question of evidence is concerned, no one in Pakistan will give any evidence against Hafiz Saeed for his activities within Pakistan. As far as India is concerned, you can take it, it's writing on the wall, that Pakistan will never ever accept any evidence given by India. Otherwise, the evidence given by India was foolproof. By now, they should have taken action. But Hafiz Saeed, what he is in Pakistan, Pakistan thinks twice to take action against him. But now they are under pressure, and I'm sure, the way they have banned his Milli Muslim League from contesting elections, they are putting the pressure and they are feeling the heat themselves. They will put forth certain evidences which would be sufficient to keep him at least under house arrest for a while and build up the evidence, and thereafter, depending on the pressure from the international community, they will be able to resolve the Hafiz Saeed issue. As of now, I don't think much is going to come up in the High Court.
Right. Now it is a slight sort of a paradoxical situation that Pakistan has been caught in. It had used Hafiz Saeed and his ilk earlier, stating that, this is something that they could have actually used against India. But the fact of the matter is, now these sort of elements are trying to gain entry into mainstream politics in Pakistan. How do you see this progressing forward? The Milli Muslim League, they have not given it recognition. The Election Commission in Pakistan so far has not given it recognition. But the fact of the matter is, their candidates are fighting as independents and are not doing discreditably, because Yaqub Sheikh got 4,000 votes and came in third in that by-poll in NH 120 in Lahore. Jaiswal, my question was, how do you see this going forward? Because it is... Yes, my question essentially was,
asking me?
How do you see this going forward? Because these elements who were used essentially against India in the past are now trying to gain entry into mainstream politics.
I'll tell you. There was an attitude in Pakistan to support the radicals, or it's other way around, that the radicals were finding space in Pakistan politics. Pakistan was nurturing it for a while because it suited them to lead a tirade against India. But now they are under pressure, and this track too on the part of the radicals to come into the mainstream politics. Pakistan knows its future. They cannot afford to go in for total radicalization. They would like to keep it under check. And the radicals, the power that they have within, in terms of the terrorists and the various groups which are there, they can force political decisions.
Right.
So therefore, Pakistan is cautious about it, and they would like to rein these people in because, like they said, they are a liability as of now, and the pressure of the international community is shaping the future course of Pakistan internal politics.
Right, and also considering the fact that the civilian establishment within Pakistan is weakening, Nawaz Sharif has been ousted, he's been disqualified for life in the Panama Papers case. Do you think the army is likely to be strengthened and emboldened more within Pakistan after this?
I don't think the voice in Pakistan today, they are wanting democracy, wherein the judiciary is taking a main stage. Army, though, would like to grab power, but I think the internal voice which is there, you see, there is a transition from what was happening earlier, starting from Ayub Khan and on to Musharraf. There is an awakening amongst the population that if Pakistan has to grow, democracy has to prevail. And that's the reason the judiciary is quite powerful. And if you recall, when Nawaz Sharif took over, he said that the army is under him, they function under him, under the government. So this is the kind of feeling. Otherwise, no other Prime Minister earlier could say so very, very blatantly. But of course, he was humbled by Mr. General Kayani. Subsequently, that's a different story. But I don't think as of now, the Pakistan army would like to step in to take on the governance of the Pakistan Islamic State. It would like to play an important standoff role in the governance and let democracy for the world to see that, yes, we are in for democracy. They would like the democratic government to continue, and from a standoff distance, they will call the shots.
Right, and also considering the fact, General Jaiswal, that elements such as Hafiz Saeed are trying to make an entry into mainstream politics in Pakistan, how do you see this impacting Pakistan's strategy against India? Is it likely to be more of the same, or do we also see, a slight, shall we say, a tilt where more of these non-state actors will be given more amount of encouragement from the side of Pakistan?
No, there is a realization in Pakistan because, like I said, they've openly said that these people, non-state actors, they've become a liability. So they would not like the non-state actors to come into any sort of power.
No, General Jaiswal, my question was, these non-state actors, like Hafiz Saeed, who are now entering mainstream politics, how is that likely to impact Pakistan's relationship with India?
Definitely, if these non-state actors enter politics, they would voice their feelings, hard feelings against India. So that element will always be there. How much it can sustain would be as to how powerful the main party is. But definitely, the seeds of dissent against India will continue to be there.
The seeds of dissent against India will continue to be there. We'll have to leave it there. General Jaiswal, thank you very much indeed for joining us and giving us your input. So in a few minutes' time from now, we will get to know as to what happens to Hafiz Saeed. Will he walk out again, or will he continue to remain under detention, under house arrest in Pakistan? This is an important hearing that is to be heard in Pakistan today.